Welcome back to another stream, guys. I'm trying something different right now, and I think we've got it. No more drop frames, but let me first check, and then I'm gonna jump into my whole my whole talk show mode for tonight. So just bear with me for a moment because I think this might be it. I don't know. We'll have to see. So thank you for bearing with me as I figure something out because I'm looking at myself through the phone to see if there's anything. But oh my gosh, I might have hacked it. I think this is great. Not lagging on my phone. And so welcome to today Monday evening of watching me troubleshoot live. I have been attempting to get my YouTube live going for the past 15 minutes because I usually schedule this at 8:30 Central European time, so Paris Berlin time. And it was not working and it was horrible. But excuse me. Managed to fix it and here we are. So let's kind of reset. And the whole theme of Monday evening is Monday evening conversations to reset the rest of your week on a Monday evening. Welcome back, Aunty Dr. Kristal Lau in the house. And it's been a bit of a heavy week, heavy weekend, heavy today as well. And I just wanted to revisit again on why I'm doing this on a Monday evening and why I'm also deciding to change after like a month plus of doing Monday evening conversations. I want to now do this and call it a Monday evening reset with me. Okay. And the big part of that is I realize that for a lot of us, the reality is, we're not the top 10% even. We're not part of the folks who have, say, a lot of resources and money, mostly money, to hire a lot of help or live in an environment where we have also so much support. And, for those of us women who are going against the grain to try to achieve all the things that we want and still show up the way we want in our personal lives, we have a lot of things stacked against us. And this is also, interestingly, actually not interestingly, and this is also true for the men who want to show up in their personal lives, but realize that a lot of the way our systems and societal constructs have been built kind of doesn't allow them to do that. Yeah, it kind of diminishes them and just, in a sense, also makes fun of them for showing up the way women show up in their personal lives. And I think that's kind of a bit insulting, and what I mean by that is, men, dads, husbands, partners who show up as a decent person, as a decent equal partner in the relationship, in the workload, whether it's mental load or physical load or everything. And I feel like the praise that's heaped upon them pretty much is a bit of an insult because it kind of looks like it's like praising a child, like, wow, your drawing is so fantastic. Wow, you did that. Oh, so beautiful. It kind of almost feels like, bro. Or, excuse me, ma'am, you think I'm what, 5? To praise me for putting dishes away, for being able to take care of my home, for showing up for my spouse, for being emotionally present for my kids. Like, so I actually kind of feel bad for a lot of the men today who are able to and want to show up, and when they also show up as allies to women in a lot of the, as I like to say, the unfair disadvantage, instead of an unfair as opposed to an unfair advantage, men who show up as allies to fight against unfair disadvantages that women have, like the fact that when you're born as a girl and a female in this world, you kind of have lots of stuff stacked against you. Of course, the men as well, but when you see in how much systemic challenges we need to go through even till today, some things like getting cards, properties, like signing in agreements, there's still in some places in the world, even in the US, even in the West, they kind of defer to the men. And it's kind of like, why? women have rights already nowadays to do things, to have bank accounts, to do all these things. Why do we still need to defer to like a male to make decisions? We're capable of doing that, yeah? That's what I mean by unfair, disadvantage. And so, for men, the unfair disadvantage to them is you're kind of born into this world where people expect so little of you that even as a grown adult, to do basic life skills, it's kind of as though it's a major achievement. That's sad. And then to fight against that, it's also quite challenging. Yeah. So, excuse me, I've got this cough thing. Allergies are kind of flaring up again, and heat wave from last week, coming out of the luteal phase, all that's catching up with me. So it's just a whole thing, which is why today's Monday evening reset is a little bit chaotic. And at the same time, I still wanted to show up like this for you all, because this is the reality, huh? You sometimes don't really get to pick and choose how your day, your week shows up, how your kids show up, because things are happening with them, to them, school or other stuff. And the world still moves around us, right? Things out of our control. Those of you in business, the PESTO acronym of things that are out of control of your business. I apply that to my personal life as well, because it keeps me aware of things like politics, right? PESTLE or TEL, doesn't matter, same way to pronounce. Politics, E is environment. Then you have, I think, social stuff, and then technology, legal stuff, and oh gosh, I can't remember the other two. Environment. Oh gosh, no, I'm completely escaping my mind. But the PESTO analysis, trying to show off here, but clearly not working today. Tell you. So, hopefully this also kind of allows you to be chaotic when that calls for it, and showing up without all your formed thoughts, without being perfect. That's also okay. Yeah. Aunty give you permission. Okay, let's put it that way. Aunty give you permission. Yeah. So all in all, going back to what I originally was wanting to say, I wanted to revisit on why I want to keep live streaming for this Monday evening thing, and why I'm changing it to call it Monday evening reset is because in a beautiful world, the end of your weekend, you start thinking, oh, how is my week gonna look like? And we all try to plan for it beforehand, because Monday is when the school starts, go back to work, all of those things. So you try to get everything sorted out on Sunday. But some things might happen on a Sunday evening that completely derails how your Monday starts, and then that kind of really derails the rest of your plan. That's happened to me many, many, many times. And not only in my personal life, but especially working in medicine. Those of you who worked in a hospital, especially public hospitals, in the public system, like you kind of like, I'm rested for the weekend, or maybe you did a weekend shift, so you already know the crap that's coming your way on Monday and the following days. Then you're anticipating that, and actually doesn't feel as stressful because you're kind of already caught up with that. But for those who are not caught up with that yet, you kind of have a rested weekend, and then you kind of go in and you kind of like, okay, this was kind of how we left things on Friday. Excuse me. And now, we've got 2 days. How much crap can go wrong? Well, sometimes a lot of things can go wrong. And so you show up on Monday and you go, wow, well, there goes what I expected for the week. And then you kind of have to go and dig deep and go, yep, all right, let's just get to it. And having to then prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and also physically on the spot for this change in the direction that you were hoping for your week to take. It takes a lot of energy out of you, Like, I mean, we give so much value to physical labor, physical strength, and physical energy that you forget how much it takes to be very mentally engaged, to do a lot of, mental gymnastics, carrying the mental load of planning. It really takes a lot. So someone could just be sitting and staring, but when you're processing so much, you can get as tired as when you're physically working and doing all of those things. All right. So I think for us to discredit mental work or give it lesser value than physical work is just doing it a service. But interestingly, that kind of applies a bit more to women, because the mental load that most women hold, which is taking care of the home, raising children, or as I like to say better, raising the next generation. Sounds more impactful, right? Sounds more powerful, right? And managing a bunch of other micro tasks constantly. That takes a lot of mental energy and mental load. But the men who do this in the executive C-suite boardrooms or in their offices, those are given very high value. Okay? So women who do that work as well, of course, given high value. But the fact that you have to do that and then go home and do that as well, your mental load is at least double. At least. Okay? And the single dads who do it all, you know what I mean by that. Especially single dads who do it all without other support systems, without other women or other men stepping in to help you, and you're really, really, literally solo parenting. You understand exactly what I mean by that kind of mental load and that drain from work, survival, trying to thrive as well, and then everything else at home that you gotta hold your shoulders on your head and physically as well, right? Give hugs, cuddles, all of those things. I'm always looking on the side just in case my kids kind of pop up and need a little bit of something, so you see me kind of always just off camera looking over there. So I go on this tangent because that's the big reason I show up and decided to do a Monday evening live stream. And whether this series takes off or not, I don't know, but I'm also doing it for me. A big shift that I have done this year, this past couple of months in terms of showing up online, is I'm actually starting to show up for myself first, and also then thinking, how do I do that plus provide some value to those of you watching? And so I really changed around the theme of my YouTube and how I then hopped on the stream on Twitch and tried to tag team that, and also to just figure some things out for myself. And I figured, maybe that's the whole thing as well, is the process of, you know, when you stumble upon my channel, my videos, and you look back at what I've done, and you look through my videos, like you actually see some transformation happening, you see some work happening, and, you know, I'm building and rebuilding things live, essentially, and in public. Of course, not everything I share in public live with you all, okay? Some privacy as well. But most of the stuff, you know, I'll just do it because it holds me accountable, and telling myself that I scheduled and decided to do this Monday evening reset with you all on the internet, it reminds me to keep doing it for myself, because I need to do something before I show up live, and then I have something to chat about. Yeah. And then after that, when it's done, then I also kind of sit for a moment and I take stock, and then that helps me go to bed a bit better and tackle the rest of my week a bit better, because I've done my own Monday evening reset a bit before, and also with you here online. And I'm hoping that this rolls over into something more frequent as well with you all. And maybe this becomes a thing, you know, like Atomic Habits or 4-hour work week. Excuse me. Maybe we need a thing called the Monday evening reset. And that's what we're here for. Yeah. Anything as usual with me at this point in time is just to try and see how it goes. But it's not something that I would just try for, say, a couple of months and then just drop it. Because definitely from what I've learned over the past few years, because of life, you know, I've tried to show up when I can, but that inconsistency has not really gotten me to where I had hoped to be. So for the rest of, I would say, 2026 and possibly the whole of 2027, I'm going to keep up with this. if I miss some things here and there, I'm definitely gonna allow myself to relax a bit and not get too upset about it. But at least I'm gonna do my best to be consistent. Then we'll find out what happens, right? And you can find out live with me as well. Okay, so Monday evening resets. I think that should be something we all try to do, just for the fact that it also gives you a moment to pause. Like if you had a really rough Sunday or weekend or Monday daytime, afternoon, or that moment before the kids' bedtime or whatever, and you're here now after dinner, 8:30, or maybe you're having a late dinner with me while you're here listening to me just yap and chat. This is a moment for you to pause, get some validation from your online auntie, to get permission as well to say, you know what, I think my plan for the rest of this week needs to just be tossed away. I think I need a whole new plan. Or maybe you just need to ditch your plan. Who knows? For me right now, how my kind of weekend has been and today has been, thankfully my Monday evening reset is I'm on the right track. I managed to preempt things this week the best that I could from the last weekend, and after all the things that just happened also before me coming online, I do feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. I don't need to change anything specific for this week. And what I built in for me this week is actually more just downtime, to give myself some rest so that my emotional reserve is replenished, and also to allow myself a bit more snacks so that my emotional reserve is replenished, and not to be so hard on myself on like, oh, you didn't have this amount of vegetables and fruits, and oh, you're eating too much chips this week and all that. I think I need it this week, so I kind of built that into my plan. Yeah, the good thing is I did a lot of walking today, so that felt really good. And then I binged on some ice cream cones after that, because this is what I felt like having. And that's okay. I'm not usually someone with a sweet tooth, but it helps. It just helps for things right now, and that's okay. Yes, my profession wise, I'm a doctor by trade, medical doctor by trade. I should be giving and talking about all the healthy stuff and all that, but we are at a point in time where a lot of you have lost trust in your medical doctors and medical authorities, because for the longest time, a lot of physicians have been preaching about health. And I use the word preaching, yes, I'm making fun of my peers, because I was one of them too. I mean, I did go through medical training. I was part of that medical school medical training, and I was taught to view things and to give health information a certain way. So I absolutely was one of those who was like, yeah, I know better than you, so you listen to me. And but now I'm taking that and putting the auntie in front, so it gives me more leeway to tell you to listen to auntie, because I can pull the auntie card, right? And kind of be all lectury and all that. Anyway, jokes aside, I think it's important that medical doctors today show up more human. Because also we have all the AI stuff that's happening, and a lot of people can get a lot of health information. You have also the lovely Consensus app that when you ask, I mean, that's more for researchers lah, but for those of you who know and want to work on using it as a non-medical, non-clinical, and non-scientific person, I mean, there's always ways you can go on YouTube how to use Consensus app. Then you can ask a question for yourself, like, what is the evidence say behind the keto diet for losing weight, for example. And then you can ask it a specific question for how does that what is the evidence on that for, say, women in perimenopause, for example. And that app will be able to distill a bunch of scientific paper and kind of give you an answer. Of course, there's a lot more nuance to it when we use these tools. That's why you have those of us in the field to help also look through what the AI comes out to see if it really is it applicable and can it be trusted. Because remember, a lot of the machines we make today, and even the scientific method, just pause for a moment, think about everything we have created today. It's all created by who? Humans. And humans are flawed. Humans, we don't know our full potential, brain-wise, and I think we use a lot of our potential for really creepy shit. That's why we have a lot of issues with issues, societal issues, and issues with certain content online, which I won't say because I don't want my video to get cut out and banned and stuff, but you know what I mean. And you know, so all these things have limitations, and their limitations are very likely similar to humans. Okay, so take everything with a grain of salt as well, and the best thing is always refer back to the humans, okay, who created those systems, and have a conversation. And so that's why it's important, I think, for my peers and myself to start showing up more online as just the human that we are. And our profession happens to be in medicine, okay? And so I can step into that role, of course, in my work. And when I'm just here with you, I'm Aunty, who happens to be a doctor. That's why my whole thing about Aunty Dr. Kristal Lau, okay? And at least I can also, you know, pull in some health information here and there, like if you're interested in that. But otherwise, right now for my YouTube, I'm a lot more interested in doing more lifestyle content. And when I mean lifestyle, means I talk about lifestyle stuff. So that's why living with change is my overarching theme, because I can talk about literally anything under the sun, you know, and make it fun for you and make it real for you and highlight certain topics that, you know, I think we need to just be aware that trends and stuff on social media and things you hear online sometimes are just the opinions of others, like mine. Everything in today's talk is my opinion, my experience, sharing it with you. And I always like to encourage people to take a moment to think about, would this work for you? Does a Monday evening reset work for you? Is it feasible? Does it work with your calendar? Does it work with the responsibilities that you have? Does it work with your family? If it isn't, and it doesn't, then okay, no, that's fine. At least you thought about it, you formed your own opinion. And I think that's even more important nowadays, okay, to form your own thoughts and opinion about things. So I encourage you, pop in the comments. I think my chat is on. I have no idea. I'm still in my OBS and there's like buttons on the side asking me to start and something. So I have no clue what's going on just yet, but that's fine. This is where I can pull the auntie cut and say, I don't know what's happening. I'm just an auntie online. But yes, I'm not that old, okay? I'm not 40 yet. Getting there, but not 40 yet. But it's okay. I'll just embrace the auntie cut anyway. It helps, okay? But even then, you know, as a millennial, technology, it has been an absolute privilege and pleasure to watch everything kind of blow up in my teenage years, you know, and to be able to follow the trends. But even then, I still find it a struggle these days. Some things I'm just like, oh, so much going on. And I believe there will come a time, you know, I hope to grow my business to a point where I can hire a tech person and just outsource all the tech stuff to them. Excuse me, but knowing me, I'll still want to have a touch base on certain things because it's just exciting, it's just interesting. You know, in another life, I would definitely have either been a historian, museum curator. That would have been like, you know, a job I would have loved to do, or I would have definitely gone on to do computer programming or even done YouTubing in the early days, you know, if I was allowed to do that, to be honest. But yeah, knowing what I know now, hey, this is my attempt at becoming a YouTuber. So as some of many of my friends say, you know, Kristal is never too late, and yeah, never too late to reset, or even not reset lah, just to try something different. So yeah, I still do a lot of my stuff in the background, a lot of the medical things. Pardon this voice, man, it's just it's just hitting me, man, this weather and just life and everything, but that's okay. Showing up here tonight, you know, is fun. It takes a little bit when I get set up. I still get a little bit concerned about my whole tech thing, But once I hit start streaming, once I see everything's running well on my phone thing, and I get in the flow, I'm enjoying it. Like you can tell, I'm smiling, my body feels kind of light. I'm still glancing out there just in case a little figure walks out. Not a hantu, not a ghost, my kid, okay? And it's enjoyable for me to show up on a Monday evening like this. So I'm gonna definitely update a little bit more how I do these Monday evening things. I'm gonna have a think through about how to structure this a little bit better. I still like to free form chat a lot. That's just how I do. So when I have outlines and structures, that gives me, of course, the idea of where this conversation is gonna go, but it allows me the freedom to just wing it as well. I think calling it a Monday evening reset sounds a lot better than Monday evening conversations, because it also triggers my creativity to go like, ooh, Monday evening reset. And I noticed as well, ever since started doing this Monday streams on YouTube, I do go about my weekends and my Monday daytime a little bit more aware or conscientious of my either surroundings, or of course I'm doom scrolling on Threads or Instagram, or LinkedIn or something, and I go, this topic seems like something interesting to discuss today on the Monday evening conversations. But then when Monday evening reset kind of triggered in my mind today as I was walking a lot, and I thought, I think that sounds a bit better. Yeah. And also it's a good opportunity to, if there's any kind of a breaking news event around the world, I think it's a good opportunity to discuss that. Not to discuss the news piece, but just how we're feeling about that and what that could potentially mean for us. And look, this allergies is... I'm not prepared for tonight, am I? That's okay. I'm gonna be brave and not delete this video. Just leave it on. Then you can see the progress next time. At least next time I'll have more tissues in my napkin. Oh, I have it right here and I just didn't see it. This is why I say my brain's tired. My brain is tired from a lot of thinking, and surprisingly doing this actually helps to relax, because I'm actually purging the thoughts, and that helps to lighten things a little bit, and I encourage those of you who want to do online creation stuff. I'm nowhere to give you advice right now. I don't have thousands of followers or thousands of views. I'm just an auntie to be showing up here online, trying things out. But I encourage you to give it a shot anyway, because as you do this and you have the evidence of you showing up online, it helps you develop the confidence. It helps you to just get over yourself. Like seriously, just get over yourself. Because, in today's day and age, there's no privacy anymore, right? All your stuff, everybody knows, can see, AI can see, everyone's collecting your data all the time. Your phone's listening to you. So, get used to just being online. Have no shame, or at least learn to pretend like you have no shame and be comfortable with that. Because, especially those of you who are intending to show up in some way, even as an introvert, a lot of things in the internet, people can find things out about you. So I feel like the quicker you can just get over yourself, then the less seriously you'll take yourself. And that allows you to just do the things you need to do to show up the way you want to show up. I won't even use the word authentic now, because that's just everywhere. I don't have anything against it, but just thinking of marketing, I kind of start to feel a bit like, ooh, when I see like the word, oh, this program or retreat is to help you reconnect with your authentic self. I'm like, oh, I'm like, do I even want to go there? Like, what is that even? So I stay away from those words. I just say, just get over yourself and, get used to yourself. And that's why also you come and follow me, because we're going to be doing all the things in alignment with living with change. And I hope I can actually keep doing this until I'm 60 or 70. Now that would be fascinating to see on YouTube, and you get to see me age over 40 years. That'll be cool. I would love that. That'll be a very nice long-term goal to have. Anyway, it all starts here. You got to start somewhere, and I think it's important that we have that. And then my whole YouTube channel will be it's just a living document of living with change with Aunty Dr. Kristal Lau. And you get to be part of my journey. I get to be part of your journey, I hope. Share with me. And those of you who want to hang out more with me, please come onto my Twitch streams, because that's where I do my co-working, co-studying. I got the links in the main description. I'm going to try putting them into the video description as well, so like everything's there. And I'm also going to build like a free hangout online space for people who come on my Twitch, so that, you know, they come in and out and just engage with my stuff, engage with me just for fun, and we'll see where that goes. And I'm not gonna lie, of course I intend to monetize these things. I mean, get real, everyone's out here online to get something. Nobody's giving stuff for free. And you know, it's true, it's not just auntie advice from me, but it's literally advice from any other person around you. Is nothing comes for free in this life. Also because that's the system that we have designed. I say we as in collectively, as the human race, not we as in me, my people, or whatever. You know, like the systems have all been designed that way. But otherwise, I mean, there are free stuff out there. Sunshine's free, but I suppose in consequence of that, you get UV rays and you get skin cancer. And maybe that's not free after all, because you're gonna pay for it with something, which are your skin cells. But anyway, that's a topic for another Monday evening reset. Thank you for being here for my ramblings today and being part of the chaos. I'll be back next week, and also to encourage you that if you miss out some days, like how I missed out last week because I was just way too exhausted to show up, and I just kind of postponed the stream and I just didn't do it. That's okay if that happens to you too. And if Monday evening resets are not for you, that's fine. But if you just love to hear me talk, then that's also great. You can just come hang out.